Good first. What? Okay, you're just gonna start recording.
You look good?
Yes, I look good. I didn't have a choice.
All right. What's going on, world? It's yours truly, DJ Dark Kent.
Bria, aka Bree Woo.
You're supposed to say like it's me. Like, okay, anyway, what you guys are about to see is a very ghetto episode of TBOL. This was the episode that was never meant to be seen. We
Correct.
actually said it in that episode. But you guys have been supporting us for so long that we don't feel like it's fair for us to hold back anything, even if it is of horrible quality.
Yes.
So this is our very first episode that we ever filmed. I guess you could say it's our pilot. We literally didn't even settle on the title. You can hear us talking about it in the episode. But we did want to share this with you guys because the conversation is really good. The topic that we spoke about is phenomenal. And yeah, we just don't ever want to try to hide any of our flaws. So you guys are going to be able to see our every mistake, our
keeping it all the way real,
our very ghetto episode. And we hope you guys enjoy it. But we will be back next week with the same good quality that I done spent on all of these cameras because we need it. So yeah. Enjoy this. Don't say nothing about the quality in the comments. Just let us rock, because we did what we had to do, and
that's
yeah,
how we got here.
and now we gonna give it to y'all. That's it.
Boom.
Damn.
The Business of Love.
Yes,
Episode
the
1 of the Business of Love podcast.
Yes.
They may never see this. This one may never make the light of day.
Except to my close friends. I'm just going to give a little.
Yeah, but they ain't gonna know what we talking about though.
Yeah.
So, cheers, salud. All right. So, I want this podcast to be informative and entertaining. I want to be able to talk about business plus relationships. I want to make sure that we are raw and real and that it is not phony and that everything that we say to one another in the privacy of our comfortable conversations that we have, I want to make sure that we have the same freedom to express ourselves here. And to feel that no matter what, between the two of us, we not judging each other. There's a million people out there that might hear this that are definitely going to judge us.
Right.
Your mother being one of them. But I want to make certain that we are comfortable enough to know that anything that's said here is a safe space. If we want to edit, remove, delete, you know what I'm saying? We
can
have
do
the
that.
ability to do that because as much as this is for us, this is for other people's entertainment as well. But we never want to sacrifice ourselves or each other. That's all I always want to just go into that with that notion of just knowing that that's our goal, right? We definitely want to educate and inform and entertain. But what we don't want to do is sacrifice anything with our relationship.
100%.
So I think that that's key to start off with saying that. But I also want to make sure that, like I said, we are raw, honest, vocal. We ain't holding nothing back.
Yeah, because we have a lot of conversations and we're like, oh my God, this needs to be on the podcast. So
Right.
we definitely need to keep that energy.
Right. But I want it to be raw.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? With that being said, go on and tell them about how I be putting it down.
Oh my God.
That's too raw?
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Okay. That's not what we're talking about. That wasn't on today's topic?
No, that was not today's topic.
What was today's topic?
Today's topic was a show that we actually was watching and didn't finish
Oh, man.
because of
Her bias.
yeah, there was a lot of bias going on. So what was your main issue that you said something like, this is why men feel like this?
Okay. All right. So I don't even know where to start. Are we talking about, and we're gonna use the bleeps for this, but are we talking about?
Yes.
All right. So when she said,
We have to get some context. So
all right, so I'm gonna just break it down. It was oftentimes I think that one of the things that we do that's pretty healthy for us as a relationship, as a couple, is we watch, the show Couples Therapy. We watch Couples Retreat. We kind of watch how other couples interact, maneuver, and kind of grow and learn from them. And I think that for me, it works because that's just the type of person I am. I like to watch other people and to learn from them. You just nosy.
I'm
so,
nosy. Yeah.
So you like to be in other people's business. So it's like, you know, the win-win. And it helps our relationship. That's the context. So we were watching a show that had something to do with therapy. And as the couple went in to talk to the
Therapist.
yeah, when we say that with
Heavy
air
quotes.
quotes because definitely wasn't a therapist, it's a life coach professional that got a bought their freaking degree off eBay. And I know because they outbid me for it. That's how I know it was on eBay, okay? Because I wanted to be in that same seat telling people a whole bunch of nonsense like this person was just doing. But as we were watching this show, I think that they came in and it started off well, right? Their session started off well, and she was like, yeah, it seems like now he's doing this and he's doing that, blah, 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 and he's waiting for me and holding the door. And that was the thing. And then he said, yeah, I'm not even going to style. Like, I want it to be like, I'm about to just go to the car and just like, yo, hurry up, like, come through. And because he said what his initial desire was,
That created
an issue.
Yep.
Like as if he hadn't shown any type of change, growth, or anything like that. And so for me, it was kind of like, yo, let it like why can't a man vocally express himself and his desires even if his actions didn't meet? And what I mean by that is like, if you and I are walking down the street and there's a big fat booty looking at me and you. Booty so big it got eyeballs on
looking
it.
at both of us.
Looking at the both of us. One cheek looking at you, one cheek looking at me. I feel like any man should be able to express their most genuine reaction to that without being subjugated or subject to ridicule or any type of backlash or attitude having from his woman because there was no action there. There was no intent. It was just a response. It was literally just a reaction. There was no desire for action.
So we've had this conversation before,
Okay.
and I told you it's nothing wrong with that. Express it, vocalize it. Cool. That's a fat ass. Oh my God, cool. But don't expect every woman, or particularly the one that you're with, to have the same reaction you do. Like you have, friends, female friends, whoever, who have that, dynamic with their man where they both can point at asses and be like, oh my God, it's so fat.
Right.
But every girlfriend, fiance, wife is not like that. Some of them genuinely just may be like, oh, okay, that's cool.
Okay, yeah, but here's my thing is like because you don't want to, right? Don't subjugate me to ridicule because I did. I can help my reaction, but here's the thing: if you really my woman and you really want to know me and be around me, I shouldn't have to filter myself at any point.
Of course.
At any point, and don't say that because oftentimes men do have to filter themselves. Because if we told often the truth, we get ridiculed for it. I literally just showed an example. What happened? My man's held the door. He held the door for so damn long, he had to remind her that he was holding the damn door for her. Did he not?
He did.
Okay, no, I'm not done. Then he said, I didn't want to. And all hell broke loose.
Because you know
And
why?
so what I'm saying is, why is it that we get ridiculed for just saying something?
There are different types of women, one, and I feel like that was not the right time and place. He even said he felt double teamed, or like they would tag team him with that situation.
Wait. We in therapy talking to our therapist.
Heavy on the quote.
Right.
Therapist.
Quote therapist. I'm the fact that he felt uncomfortable in that situation to say anything is wrong.
Right.
It's wrong. What do you mean? Like this isn't the right time or place. What better time or place should a man be able to express himself fully without being ridiculed?
You're
That's
right.
the one time and space where you have the freedom to say what you want to say and actually express your feelings and not be ridiculed.
You're right.
That's where that's supposed to happen.
I mean, listen, I can't say you're wrong, but I will say this. Every woman is different, and you can't always overshare or be super transparent with certain women. And that person, for example, we're not going to say no names, but maybe you can't
So
be
basically
transparent
what you're
with her.
saying is women need to be lied to. That's what I'm hearing, y'all. Ooh, I wish we had some applause.
Oh my
on these.
God.
Let me hit the.
We need the applause button.
I don't know what this is doing right now.
But guess what? That's the problem.
Wait a minute. Wait, stop, because I don't know what sound this is making. Hit a button. Okay, never mind. Okay, keep going.
Lord. Okay. Yes. What was I saying?
You
That's
said-
that's the problem that men have, is that you're gonna assume now, oh, since I can't be, fully transparent, now I gotta lie. No one said that.
Well, if I'm not being fully transparent, isn't that a lie? If I'm not being fully, completely honest, and I'm holding back things in my brain that I want to say, aren't I technically therefore by omission of other information?
So you don't think? Let me just ask you a question. You don't think that was a little unnecessary, what he said? Like, they're having a conversation and saying how far they both have come.
You know what I think was unnecessary?
What?
Her reaction to what he said. So here's the thing, right? Whether or not something that was said is necessary or not, I can say something that's unnecessary, but it's about how you react to it. Because if we're especially in the space where we are trying to have therapy, if we're both in a space here to grow, then your reaction shouldn't hinder me from saying anything, because I need to express that so that I can learn whether or not it's right or wrong, bad timing, if it was wrong in the way I said it, whatever. Help me. Don't ridicule me. And that's what happened. They immediately went to ridiculing him, so much so that he was like, cut the scene, it's over with, I'm out.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
I would have said the same thing. I would have been the same way. Like, no, we're not doing this. Y'all not about to sit here and try to praise me for doing right. You was just happy 30 seconds ago because of the action that I did.
Yeah.
Yesterday, no less. The action that I did a day ago still made you happy enough to talk about it today. But because I told you the truth about how I felt...
So because you told me that, I'm glad I made you feel good and everything, but in the back of my mind, I really ain't want to do that.
Yo, but the thing is, he didn't say that. He was joking and laughing and smiling. He was like, I ain't gonna style. Like, I wanted to just be in the car, but I stayed here. Like, that man told you. See, this is really weird. Let's really get into it, because here's really what it is, right? As opposed to her being upset that he didn't want to do that, she was supposed to find solace, comfort, and joy in the fact that man he went against his own desires to be there for her in the position that she wanted him. Yo, I ain't want to be here doing this podcast. I wanted to be somewhere on an island twinkling my toes and, fishing with the homies. But I'm here, right? Now I'm wrong for saying that?
No, but the question is that supposed to make me feel good? That's the real question. Is like, are women supposed to be like, oh my God, I'm so grateful that he's really here with me, as opposed to really enjoying himself fishing with his friends on an island somewhere?
I don't know. I can't. Look, feel
It's
how
mixed
you feel.
feelings.
Okay, but so here's the thing. I can't tell you how to feel based off of it, but I can just say that all I'm trying to do is give a little bit of added perspective. And the added perspective that I get from that is that, like, this man sacrificed. You see what I'm saying? Like this man sacrificed. He put his own desires, pardon me, he put her, the woman, her desires above his own. That's all he was trying to say.
So
That's all he was trying to vocalize, is like, yo, I'm not going to style. That was not my desire. It was your desire, and I put your desires above my own.
So look, I kind of want to shift gears while staying in the same lane, because we had a conversation a few days ago in LA. Actually the last day we were in LA, and we were like having drinks before we were about to get on the plane and stuff.
Right.
And we were just having a very transparent conversation, and we were talking about urges. You was real, because just now you was real heavy on the putting her desires and all that before mine and my urges.
Oh man.
So we were talking about urges, and I really want to know, when it comes to commitment,
On the podcast though? First episode?
That's what it's about.
Okay, keep going.
We're keeping it raw.
Okay.
So seriously though, like men and their urges and how they're able to combat that for a relationship.
How did we
Is that
get
considered
here?
a sacrifice? Because we were talking
Oh.
about desires, sacrifices, and urges. I feel like that literally all comes into play with commitment. So
we need the effects on here because you're over here dropping
we
bombs.
gotta make
like-
some. We gotta make some homemade effects. No, but it's episode 1, so we all getting into it together. We starting from the boom.
Okay, babe. No, let me stick with the effects.
Okay, so yeah, seriously, it's a loaded question, but for
yeah,
men,
it's a loaded
do you
question.
consider, this is like the real question, for men, do you consider a relationship technically like a sacrifice against your own desires and urges to, you know, do what you want to do, be with, hell, I don't know, woman after woman or whatever that looks like to you?
I think that the term sacrifice, in this sense, coincides greatly with the term decision. Excuse me. I think that being in a relationship is not sacrificing those desires. It's making the decision that this relationship is worth more than my desires. So it's not really a sacrifice. It's almost like asking me, like, it's like saying getting a new car is sacrificing on taking public transportation. Like, I could really enjoy public transportation. If I'm in the city, I get free entertainment. There's dudes that be flipping and doing all types of
Yeah.
stunts and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? I'm sacrificing my entertainment.
It's showtime.
Yeah, I'm sacrificing my entertainment because now I'm driving. You know what I'm saying? But I made that decision because driving for me is better. I like to drive. Not everybody in the city likes to drive.
Right.
So I think that in the sense of like a relationship for a man, I think that the only thing that a man is sacrificing is his urges.
Okay.
And the sometimes you have the urge, right? And to me, like, an urge is different from a desire because an urge kind of comes from within, and you don't really know what sparked it, right? Like I was thinking about something else, and then boom, big booty walks by. Now I have the urge to go jump on it and dance, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever the urge is, it's something that kind of crossed my mind second-handedly. It wasn't something that like is a part of me, right? Like if I'm an alcoholic, I don't have the urge to go drink. I just want to go get drunk. There's a difference. So I feel like as a man, because of the way that we are created, we have urges to do certain things. And I think that the only thing that you're sacrificing as a man is those urges, because sometimes, and this is just human nature to me, having an urge and actually seeing it through or accomplishing it or even just going after a period or trying to attempt it is part of human nature, in the sense that it gives you some sort of it gives you a sense of, I don't want to use the word like purpose, duty, or whatever the case may be, but I just want to say that it kind of, you know what it helps? It helps to ingratiate your identity to yourself more, right? Because if you have an urge to do something, whether or not, so urges, period. Because if I'm a man and I'm in a relationship and I have an urge to be with another woman outside of that relationship, and I do not succumb to the urge, now I've reprogrammed my identity a little bit more to help me realize what type of a man I am, right? And if I'm a man or a single man and I have an urge to go holla at this chick, and I go holla at her, and then we end up sheet wrestling, now that lets me know what type of man I am based on, you know what I'm saying? So I do think that that's a sacrifice when you are, not succumbing to your urges. But
Okay.
here's the thing. Women have urges too.
100%.
So I don't think that it's just a sacrifice for men. I don't think that being in a relationship is a man sacrificing, saying, oh, like this is, no, I think that everybody's in some way, shape, or form sacrificing something. I don't think that I'm as comfortable with the term sacrifice, because there shouldn't be so many sacrifices in a relationship. There's compromise, and there's communication, but I don't think that the word sacrifice in a relationship has the right place.
Right.
I think that in business, there are certain things that you definitely need to sacrifice. If I know for a fact that I'm going to be an entrepreneur, I'm sacrificing the comfort of having a 9 to 5.
Yep.
With me, doing what I do full time, I've made that sacrifice, right?
Yeah.
And some people, there are just certain things that you just need to sacrifice on either side of either a relationship or business. But I think that the term coincides more closely with the business, right? Where there would be sacrifice. Shit, sometimes you got to sacrifice people.
Yeah.
I had to fire somebody not too long ago.
Yeah.
And you use a sacrifice. It's up. It's
Yeah.
over with. You know what I'm saying? Because for the betterment of the business,
Yep.
I will sacrifice that because I didn't want to have to do that. But for the betterment of the business, I had to. And so the reason why I don't necessarily think of the term sacrifice in relationships is because if you are sacrificing something and it's for the betterment of something else, if it's for the betterment of you, it ain't really a sacrifice.
So glad you said that, because now I want to put a little twist to it.
Why
No.
you always twisting stuff, and why are you moving your hands like
Because
that?
I got to express what we doing.
There's not enough champagne in here.
I actually wish I would have put my phone on that. So I would have got the, whatchamacallit?
You want to record?
Yeah, I wanted to get some on here. So you can actually do it for me, please. I was going to say, as far as sacrifice goes, we don't have this issue, but I have seen examples of people. Oh, I know we don't have this issue. When you hear it, you're going to be like, oh, yeah, we don't. A lot of people that I know have experienced this pretty much because we're talking about sacrifices. What if, let's say, like you said, the business, sometimes you got to sacrifice things for the business. What if you put the relationship on the same level as a business, and you have to sacrifice, let's say, a friend for the betterment of the relationship? That's technically a sacrifice because you're doing it to, you don't want to do it, I'm sure.
Right.
But it's for the betterment of the relationship. Clearly something with the friendship is not appropriate, or it's not allowing
it's a hindrance
hinder.
to
Yeah.
the relationship.
Yep.
So what are you asking me? If I believe that that's a sacrifice, or if I'm willing to make that sacrifice? Or how I feel about
How
sacrificing?
do you feel
a
about
friend?
that sacrifice? Because it is a sacrifice. I'm pretty sure nobody wants to cut off a friend when they enter a relationship. But based on the situation, sometimes you're like, listen, it's better for me to just get rid of this so I can save this.
Here's the thing. Most people would be like, "Oh, that was never really your friend," and I hate that phrase. I hate that statement that once a friendship ends, that it's never your friend. Here's what I will say about that: if it comes to the point or time where you need to sacrifice your friendship for your relationship, you have now outgrown that friendship. And I think that people need to become a lot more comfortable with being willing to outgrow a friendship. You are not going to be the same person that you are 5 years, today, 5 years from now. No one can expect you to be the same person. Shit, tomorrow if you want to change. Like the pandemic happened and I went from being a DJ to telling people about stocks.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? My conversations was different. I'm sorry, homies. I'm not talking to you about the hottest Tinashe record that came out last week. I'm talking to you about what stocks to buy.
Yeah.
So, like our relationships will change. And I think that people just need to become a lot more comfortable with that. Do I feel like it's a necessity for you to sacrifice a friendship for a relationship? Not a necessity, but I do feel like if that friendship comes in the way of your relationship, yes, you do have to make a decision. And I think that that decision should be based on which one brings you the most happiness, not where you've been the longest. That's where people fuck up. It's like, oh, I've been your friend for 20 years and now there's something coming in, but I can't believe this is yes, believe it. Believe it.
Because a lot of the times they think, okay, well, guess what? When that relationship ends, if it ends, guess what? We're not friends no more. So you pretty much sacrificed me and you're not even with that person. They're not thinking of it as, oh, you outgrew me or we're no longer compatible as friends.
Here's the thing, right? If and when my relationship ends, friend should be there regardless.
Regardless of whether you cut them off or not.
100%. Because love makes you do all types of shit. And you can't often judge someone for their worst decision. I'm not going to judge you for your worst decision. So if you made a bad decision, it all depends on the way in which it goes down, of course. Right? You cursing me out and shit, we ain't cool no more, of course. But if you came to me amicably and we had a conversation, I was like, yo, I'm sorry, bro. Everything that we've done thus far is amazing, but at this point, I'm focused on my relationship, and I probably won't be communicating with you as often. Right? We don't see eye to eye on a lot of things, so it's in the best interest for me to just graduate, move on. Hopefully in the future, maybe whatever, however you leave it. Now, it's up to the friend to decide whether or not they want to be there for you. It's fair for that friend to say, nah, I'm not really rocking with you no more. But because of the way in which love changes us and being in a relationship makes you change things, I feel like a true friend should still be there for you as long as the decision to no longer communicate the way in which you did was done so in a respectful manner. As long as everybody still had respect for one another, it's all good, because when the relationship ends, yeah, you will be in need of a friend. And sometimes, right, like I know my friends, if I did that to them, I know I'd be able to come back. The reason being, they can't wait to tell me how wrong I was.
Right.
They wouldn't be, ho, she did what? Like, my friends would be making fun of me. You know what I'm saying? Like, and just all types of wildness. And, like, I remember when I broke up with an ex, and this never happened as far as, like, oh, I chose my friends. But I do remember this group of friends, specifically, this is when I was in college, they wouldn't hit me up for certain things. They're like, oh, yeah, we all about to go do X, Y, and Z. And I would never get the call. A couple days later, I'd be like, yeah, we was out. And I'm like, yo, where was they? Like, oh, you was with your girl. So sometimes your friends will cut you off, you know what I'm saying, before you can cut them off.
Right.
Because they was on some like, oh, yeah, you was with your girl. We ain't even want to hit you. And I was like, yo, that's crazy. I feel left out. Then one time we really did go, and I was like, damn, I should have stayed with my girl.
Yeah.
So I get it. I totally get it. But when, if and when something like that does happen, like I said, my friends would be there because they can't wait to tell me about the mistake that I made in choosing that, or just make fun of me, period. My friends was putting in the group chat how my ex became a lawyer. She over here making all types of bread, and it was like, and you still DJing at these rinky-dink little clubs. Like, that was legit in a text message. No lie. The next year, though, I was on Hot 97, so it was all good. I was like, thanks for the motivation. You ugly bastard. Now I'm going to go have sex with your mom. But
oh my God.
I didn't do that. I thought about it, but I didn't do it.
Anyways, that escalated quickly. No, but I wanted to hear your input on that, because a lot of the times I feel like as women, we always get bashed because we're like, oh, you in a relationship now, talking to like other girlfriends, you're in a relationship now, you cut us off and now you single again, and you kind of, you looking for us to have your back. So I always wonder, how is that for men? Like, sometimes do y'all get the same treatment when you feel like you gotta deviate from
No, I don't
your
think
friends?
that. I don't think that men. I think that because of the way in which men are geared to view things like jealousy and whatnot, like that is an anti-emotion for men. It's one of the things that we try to run away from. Like, I'm not gonna admit how much I actually enjoy hanging out with my mans. Like, I'm never gonna tell my mans how much fun I have with him. Hell no. So are you? I ain't telling you that. I don't like you like that.
Yeah.
So because we, play fake tough so often and don't really express our emotions, we probably wouldn't even be willing to tell another man, like, oh, you cut me off with your girl. Like, you know what I'm saying? We would rather make fun of the man and be like, oh, you whipped.
You whipped, yeah.
You whipped. But now here's the one thing. Here's let me just break this down for all my fellas out there. There ain't no such thing as being pussy whipped. That is an illusion. That isn't a lore. That is a word.
I disagree.
That is a word that women made up because they think that the pussy has control and therefore
It
the
doesn't?
whip. Let me explain. Therefore, the whip makes you do things. When in fact, the pussy is more like hypnosis.
Okay.
It's not control. See, the thing about hypnosis is, if you know hypnosis, if you're hypnotized, people can suggest things that will make you do something. It's not control. So the reason why I say it's hypnosis is because when you're being controlled, you know, right? Like if you put shackles on me right now, chains on me right now, and made me do hard labor for money, I know. Like I'm conscious of that. Like there ain't no, oh snap, huh? How did I get here?
Yeah.
But when the good pussy gets thrown on a man, there's a moment when he wakes up and says, first off, he says, where are my socks and my drawers? Then second off,
You end up in a Louis Vuitton store.
hey, you were spending your own money that day, so that's, it was all good. It was, yeah, I know y'all probably seen that out there in Instagram land. I looked like I was upset standing out the Louis Vuitton store. I was just fine, okay? I was not upset. I was actually a little sad that she went in there without me. Is that not what we was arguing about?
No, that was.
I was like,
you was
yo.
upset that I didn't tell you I was in there or was still shopping or something.
No, I was mad that you went in there by yourself because I wanted to. For those of y'all that don't know, we're still very early on in our relationship. like we just hit, what, 6 months?
6 months.
So we're still very early on in our relationship. And so I don't know what type of, I've never been in a Louis Vuitton store with you. Mm-hmm. So I don't know what type of Louis stuff you like.
And you wanted to share that experience and
Well, I wanted to, like you said, like we said before in the beginning of this, right? I like to learn based off other people. You're just nosy. So I wanted to learn what you like based off of your action, reaction, and whatnot. But since you didn't want me in the store, I guess I'll never be able to buy you a Louis bag. That's fine.
No,
that's
you,
okay.
That's the thing. You are going to buy me a Louis bag.
That's the compromise that we have. You wanted to leave me and be all fasty fast and go into the Louis store without me, and I got left outside because of COVID stuff.
I'm about to say this COVID protocol only allows 1-2 at a time.
So because of, and here's the thing, it ain't like you just accidentally ended up in there. You told me specifically, oh babe, you going into that store?
I'm about to go
I'm going into Louis.
Exactly.
So okay, keep going into Louis by yourself.
And they gave you the boyfriend pass. They let you in there when I.
Yeah, nah, I don't want no boyfriend pass. Keep going into Louis by yourself. Every time I go into Louis, I'm gonna buy my own stuff.
Moral of the
I'm gonna buy me
story.
a boyfriend book bag. I'm gonna buy me a boyfriend belt. I'm gonna buy me all types of boyfriend Louis shoes.
No, but you did say you was gonna get me something. You just didn't know what I liked, so you didn't get it. So yes, the hypnosis is very relevant.
When did I say this?
We just discussed this today. Pretty much, he was saying there was a point in time him and his homeboy went to the mall or whatever,
Okay.
and they was spending coin.
All right, look, let me just explain this. You done with your side of the story?
I'm just saying this is how the hypnosis works, though. When you got the good, they end up asking for their shoes, whatever, socks, and also they end up at the mall
Now,
asking, "What do you need? You need something? Because I'm in here. What's up?
you done?
You got groceries?
No, you're not done. Okay.
Your rent paid?
Okay, you're not done.
I'm done now."
Okay. So since we was talking about friendships, right, and relationships and whatnot, let's talk about positive aspects of friendships and relationships in that sense. Because in that sense, on that day, it was not very positive because my mans was going to the mall to get something, to get some YSL shoes for he gave them to her already, so I can say this.
Yes.
He some YSL shoes for his girl who he's been in a relationship for damn near 10 years. Okay? And because I saw him doing something nice and dope, I almost did something dumb and expensive too.
Dumb. It wasn't the hypnosis.
No. It was because my mans wasn't about to outdo me. He about to be out here, everybody and we all up in the YSL store, and we over there standing by the hills, and you the only one that's getting all this attention because everybody like, oh, he's buying them for his girl. He's so sweet. And I'm like, y'all don't even know him. He's an asshole. She don't even really like him like that. I know I'm his brother and his business partner, and I don't like him like that.
Oh my God, we got to send him this clip.
No, but seriously though, like when it comes down to it, oftentimes friendships, especially for a man, can be very
Influential.
Yes, and informational. You can learn a lot based on how someone else reacts or acts in their relationship. Now, of course, you're nothing like, not nothing like, and there's
Everyone's different.
Everyone's different, and our relationship is completely different, and all of those things. But I was, number one, able to be influenced by the situation because of how I know he felt, right? Like there was a moment where here's how I can explain it. When we, because we're two men in a mall looking for women's shoes. Probably the dumbest idea, one of the dumbest idea my business partner and I have ever had. We know nothing about women's shoes. We don't know nothing about YSL. They come in Euro sizes. We in America. Like, we don't, this is all crazy. This is confusing, right?
Yep.
But because the other thing is too, here's the real difficulty, because he's bought her nice things before, so it ain't that crazy. He was doing this kind of on a whim. We woke up that morning. We both had gotten paid. We was like, yo, let's go to the mall, whatever. We went to the mall, and we didn't look for anything for ourselves. We were looking for our women. So him doing that, there was a moment there when once we had accomplished it, once we knew, like, oh, this is the one that's in style this season. This is how you convert it to her size. Oh, we're going to wrap it in the... like, once we had done all that, I truly believe he and I were more excited than she's ever been for them shoes.
Yeah.
She probably loved them shoes. But the moment that we realized we did it,
Right.
it was a dance, high five. Yeah, we got this. Like at that moment, we could have left without the shoes and we still would have had a great day. Because we accomplished it. We figured it out. So I said all that to say I was only on the friend side of that. And oftentimes I've known him and them for so long that I've helped him pick out great things for her. Yeah. There's certain things that she be wearing. I'm like, yo, we bought them. Oh, no, I can't say that. But I was there. We bought those for you. I know about that outfit. And I think that every real man who enjoys being in a relationship looks forward to those moments. Yes. Right? I want to be with my homie while I'm treating my girl right. I want to be with my mans in them while I'm showing you affection, love, attention. I want to be there to be like, because they know, right? Because here's the realest thing, like as a quote unquote real ass nigga, they know I'll slap fire out of somebody if I need to. Like I'm not no chunk, pump, whatever. Right. But I also want them to know what type of man I am when it comes to my woman. And there's not a lot of like options and opportunities for us to really show that, because 9 times out of 10 when men get together, we are not talking about y'all, and if we are talking about y'all don't want to hear it because it ain't got nothing good to say.
It's like a venting session.
It's a venting session. We call it I need 5. If my man's hit me up right now and say, yo, I need 5, I would tell him I got about 20 minutes left on this podcast and then I can give you your 5, player. Like, for real, that's how we do. I'm like, because there's a meme going around that says, oh, you don't know how fortunate you are to have a black man to vent to you. And that meme has been going to women, but that meme goes for men too. If you have a friend who's been through something, who's lived in the hood, who's from the hood, who's of any type of, you know what I'm saying, like hip hop type of like culture, and they've probably been through things that could have given them PTSD, anytime that they decide to vent to you, especially as a man, you got to feel blessed for that. Yeah. Because as men, we're not in touch with our emotions. So if I'm choosing to express my emotions to you, that's a very protected thing that I've been carrying by myself, keeping to myself for my entire life. So now me choosing to share this with you, it don't feel that deep to me. It feel like I'm just venting. Yeah. But let's look at it from a psychological breakdown. Yo, you want the inner circle.
So on that same token, do men hold each other accountable?
Well, this was a great podcast.
Because that's a burning question, and a question that a lot of women want to know. Because I know, like you said, when y'all get together, of course, you know, we not the topic of conversation unless y'all venting or whatever. Or even if something cool happened with you and your spouse, you know, you share it with your friends. But do y'all hold each other accountable when there's a situation like, bro, I effed up. I did X, Y, Z. I know I wasn't supposed to, but I'm human. It was a moment. Like, do y'all have those moments where you like, listen, you got to make it right? Or this is how you fix that?
Yes, we do. But we do it in
Your own way?
Yeah. We do it in ways that I think that a lot of women wouldn't understand, comprehend, or even appreciate. Right? And but the thing is that when it comes to communication between men, there's certain things that can be said that nothing else needs to be said.
Got it.
Like the one time, I'll never forget it. One time I was with my partner and I was like, we was talking, he was venting, right? And I was letting him vent. And at the end of it, I was like, yeah, well, I mean, you're an idiot. Straight like that. And he looked at me and he was like, word. And I was like, yeah, no, actually, you're a dumbass. Like, I just kept leaning in on him. And he was like, all right, I get it. I was like, no. You might be one of the stupidest people I know. Now that I think about it, you need help. Like, I just kept leaning in. And he was like, yeah,
and
right.
that was the communication.
That was it, because not only did he know how I felt, but he knew what he needed to hear. And he knew that what I was saying was what he needed to hear. He didn't want to hear it, but he respects me enough to let me say it. And so, yes, men hold each other accountable, but the men who don't hold each other accountable, it's because you don't think you have that man's respect. So any man who's not willing to hold another man accountable, it's because I don't, like, think about it like this. Ain't no son holding his dad accountable.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, until he gets to a certain age, and then the dad is like, you know what? You right. I was wrong about this. Right? It's the same thing with big brother, little brother. It's hard to hold a bigger brother accountable for something because he's so used to being the right one. It's hard to tell someone when they are wrong sometimes. Yep. We just had this situation where we talked about parents and we said, yo, anytime that you correct a parent, that you say anything to a parent, they take it as disrespect. And it's like, no, I'm just trying to give you some game. I'm holding you accountable.
Because to be honest with you, I would feel bad. No, I'm saying, to your point.
I thought she was about to go in on a rant because of what
you
went through today.
I know, I've been venting enough about it, but no. I would actually feel bad if I withheld that information from a parent or somebody that I respect. Like, if I know that you are here moving crazy and I'm not telling you about yourself, I am not I'm not a real one. Like, I don't love you then. And I had to really understand that, because people actually came and corrected me and checked me. And I'm like, don't be talking to me like that. But if they didn't tell me, they wouldn't care.
Yeah, accountability is one of the reasons why you and I work and why we are together. Because I've been through enough situations to know when someone doesn't know how to hold themselves accountable. And that, to me, is a huge turnoff. It's a huge turnoff. And it's something that has caused issues in my past relationships that I just can't overcome. Right? Like, I cannot be associated with people who don't know how to hold themselves accountable. Right? Like, I've eliminated business partners for that. I've eliminated, or potential business partners for that. Friends for that. People who were close to me in my life for years. So accountability is huge. And so, yes, as a man, I'm the type of man who holds my friends accountable. That's 100%. But I will say it does come with respect. It does come with, and it also comes with knowing that someone is willing to be held accountable. Not everyone is willing to be held accountable
at all.
Some people will automatically just fight you for it. And so therefore, if that's the case, and if you're that type of friend, it may not be in my best interest for me to hold you accountable, because we don't have the safe space for me to do so. So I do kind of understand, you know, there's a bit of difficulty there oftentimes, right? I wanted to do this. Well, let me just tell you, that fly keep bothering you because your drink is still there. If you finish your drink,
ain't nothing in here. Thank you. So let me hold you accountable for being in my business.
No, but what I was saying, and I wanted to do this earlier, was just give a random shout out to my business partner, right? Because I do appreciate the man that he is, the person, the individual that he is, not just being my business partner. But there was a moment last week, you was here. I was livid. In
LA?
No. We was here. And we had to get some stuff removed, and, you know, he had made a call for the guy to come remove it. I wasn't supposed to be here the whole time, but I ended up staying here. Literally, like, right? One of the reasons why I'm like, yo, got to give him his flowers is because I expressed myself that day. again, men and emotions, we don't do that well. So it took me a while to like really formulate the message that I was going to send because it was early in the morning.
You're not up.
I didn't want to come off the way that I know I can come off. This is my business partner. I respect him. This is one of my best friends. I love him too. So I had to give him. So here, that's the problem, though, right? Because it's business, I feel like I should be able to talk to you however I want to talk to you without you getting emotional. Because you know I love you, I feel like I should be able to talk to you however I want to talk to you without getting emotional. But men and emotions, we don't always do so well.
Right.
So I'm like, all right. This isn't just a chance for me to tell him that I'm emotional about something. This is also a chance for us to have better productivity. So my goal here is to hold him accountable. My goal here isn't just to tell him, yo, you pissed me off with that. My goal here is to say, look, this is where we went wrong. In the future, let's do better. And I did that, but I was still hot. It was still early in the morning. So he felt how I felt. It was like, bro, you messed me up. I had to do, it came out. I didn't mean for it all to come out, but it also came out with a mission. And because of the way in which he responded, all you can say was, you're right, bro, I apologize. We're going to do better next. And I was like, all right, so what we got on the agenda for today? Like when you have people who are willing to be held accountable, it helps for productivity.
Exactly.
It helps for the difficult conversations to be less difficult. It literally makes things a lot easier and smoother in a transition as far as relationships go.
100%.
So I take a moment to commend him, but I also take a moment to commend you and let you know that I really greatly appreciate that about you, because there's not a lot of women your age, your speed, your temperament that are willing to be held accountable. I find that oftentimes when it comes to women, oftentimes their emotions get in the way of them being held accountable.
We've seen in the show, that will remain nameless, that even...
So we ain't giving nobody a plug unless we get a check.
Period. But even older women, younger women, whoever, emotions get in the way.
Always.
And she
Men
couldn't...
too. Men too.
Yes. But it's just, I feel like...
People got emotions.
I think a lot of the times women get written off as being emotional and putting emotions before logic, and not really understanding, hey, if you go about this a certain way, you can get a lot more done. Productivity. So, yeah, you just got to be emotionally intelligent. I guess that's the word.
Yo, emotional intelligence is something that I think that more people need. You know what? Sorry. Emotional intelligence is something that I think that as a community, we need to speak about more. As a community and as a culture, I don't think that it's properly praised, the people who do have emotional intelligence. I don't think that the importance of it is emphasized enough. The ability to ascend almost to higher plights in life via emotional intelligence. And I think that this is a great note to end on. And what we'll talk about with emotional intelligence, it's not that difficult. Sometimes emotional intelligence is being the person who's willing to call other people just to check on them. Right? If you're that type of person, you're someone who's emotionally intelligent. Because oftentimes getting into emotions with other people is something that we shun from. I don't want to call this person, you're too emotional. I don't feel like dealing with all that. You don't tell me this, that. I don't feel like going through that. I don't want to deal with my own emotions is really what it is. And so that's why being emotionally intelligent is being aware enough to know what your emotions are, and then being able to converse with other people about theirs, or whatever the case may be. And we need more people like that.
We definitely do. And I think it goes hand in hand with mental health and wellness, because if we can become more emotionally intelligent, we can have, I don't want to say less episodes of things, but, we can have people really tap into how they feel and communicate that effectively.
Oh, the police coming. That means we got to go. No, but I think that that's a great note to end on. I think that I think that the message for this should be to do something emotionally intelligent today. Reach out to somebody who you've thought about. Reach out to somebody who recently came across your mind. Reach out to somebody who you've wanted to reach out to, but never really had the nerve to, and felt like you needed a reason to. Here's your reason.
And understand accountability and what that means 100%. For you and the other person that you're holding accountable.
And the ability that you could grow, like the ability to be able to grow from being accountable or from being held accountable. I think that that's something also that we need to emphasize a lot more. So, with that being said, cheers to you ain't got no more in your cup, but, imaginary cheers to the first recording of For the Business of Love.
I think
The business of love.
Yes, that's what it was. The business of
the
love.
business of
we
love.
stamping it.
Yeah, the business of love. The BOL.
Yes, the BOL. Yes.
TBOL.
No, you don't put the in it. It's BOL. The BOL.
No,
We'll
I
work
think
on
it's-
it.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, y'all let us know. Shoot. I got to stop cursing, that's for sure, because that's
Yes.
more editing for me. But anyway.
Help yourself.
Yes, facts.
But yes, wonderful first episode.
I think so. I think it was great. I think
And
we out.
Yes, looking forward to more.
I don't know. I might need a new partner after this. She was asking some tough questions.
Cheers.
We out.